Hello, buddy. This is Robert Hollis. I hope you're having a wonderful and blessed day. Today's topic is it's so easy to make money. It is so easy to make money. So I'll wait for Facebook to go out there. Thank you, Mark Zuckerberg and Facebook, for taking my video and sharing it with all my 33,000 followers. I really, really appreciate that. And I'll wait for people to get on here and say hello, and we'll go ahead and get started. Hello, Bill. Nice to see you. See you in Orlando. I'm super excited. Yeah, it's going to be a blast. It's going to be a blast. Hey, Dustin, how are you? Great to see you on here. And we'll get started here in a little bit. One of my favorite subjects forever. Hey, Javi, nice to see you on here. Thanks a lot for jumping on. Really appreciate you. And who else is on here? Mr. John Tier. Mr. John Tier. I loved some of your comments that you made today on Jenna's training. That was pretty awesome. And let me see. There's Melody, amazing Melody. I love you, Frentor. Hey, Peter, how are you? How are you? 8 p.m. here in Ireland. I think it's tomorrow in Asia. So pretty awesome. Thanks for getting on. Hi, Pat. Hi, Kai. And it's a little after, so I'm going to go ahead and get started. Hello, everybody. My name is Robert Hollis, and I hope you have a wonderful and blessed day. The title for today, it is so easy to make money. It is so easy to make money. And I just want you to sort of open up your mind a little bit when I share this with you because, making income for me has never been a difficulty when I'm doing the right things. Did you hear that? When I'm doing the right things. And I'm going to show you what those right things are. So the first concept is we know a lot of people that make a lot of money. I don't know why we sort of look at the world and we see that a majority of the people, of course, a majority of the people, 97%, 95%, make less than $200,000 a year. But, again, money is relative. Money is totally relative. And, to some people, $50 is a lot of money, and to some people, it's not. So it's all relative. It's all a perspective. Hi, Craig. Hi, Sarah. Hi, Deb. Great to see you guys on here. Hi, Bernie, Jeff, Jim. Great to have you guys on here. And so I'm going to give you guys a couple of subjects that will just blow your mind. How many of you, and you can post below, have you ever watched Shark Tank? I think Shark Tank, hi, Sarah. I think Shark Tank should almost, be mandatory for people to really watch, to get people to understand how to be creative, how to build vision, how to create something out of nothing, right? And one of the things that I love talking about on that show is this individual. I should have got his name, but I don't because it doesn't make a difference. But this guy on Shark Tank, he went on there and he said, hey, I want to draw a cat for you. I want to draw a cat for you. So if you guys can find this YouTube video of him being on Shark Tank, Mr. Wonderful and Barb and, all these people were just freaking laughing their butts off at this guy, just laughing at him. Hi, Lisa. And so all of a sudden, he stands up there and they go, so what do you do? And he goes, I want to draw a cat for you. I want to draw a cat for you. And he had this song, I want to draw a cat for you. And all of them were laughing. And they said, so tell us what you do. And he said, I draw stick cats. I draw a figure of a stick cat. And people request them all the time. And they go, okay, so everyone was laughing at him, just making a big joke out of him. And then all of a sudden, Mark Cuban said these things to him. So he said, how'd you get into this? And he says, well, I just did it part-time. And then people say, can you draw one for me? And, can you do this for me? And I said, yeah. And then all of a sudden what I did is I started telling people that I was drawing these little stick cats. And then all of a sudden, I find every waking hour. And the funny thing that he said is that he's got paper and pencils and stuff, even by the sink in the bathroom. So he says, when I go to the bathroom, I can, draw a couple of cats. And the guy turned around and said, you know what I mean? Well, how much does it cost? How much does it cost for you to do a cat? And he was saying, it takes about an hour. You know what I mean? So, I charge $10. And everyone's going like, what are you talking about? I mean, if you guys watched the episode, it is hilarious. And so he's going, is there a demand for this? And he goes, when I started drawing them, people started sharing them on social media. And I'm now at a point in my life where there's so many people that are demanding me to draw a cat for them for $10 that I just don't have enough time. And so I just need a little help with, training other people and finding other people that are great at drawing. And, if I could hire some people that are artists that could draw cats, then I could fulfill this need. And Mark Cuban said yes. So all the other sharks were laughing at him. All the other people at the show were laughing at him. But Mark Cuban, a billionaire, goes, really? And he goes, yeah. And he goes, okay, I'll go into business with you. And now if you go on Facebook or type in like I did, I want to draw a cat for you, you see the guy's site, you see everything. And it's just amazing to me that, like I said, how easy it is. Now, I watch another thing, and you guys will probably have to look this up too, but Terry and I watch Sunday Morning. And the reason we watch Sunday Morning is because it seems to me to be one of the only things out there right now that have a lot of positive stories. And they had a guy on there that sharpens pencils. He is, without a doubt, a self-proclaimed the best pencil sharpener in the world. So people send him pencils from all over the world, and he sharpens them, and then he puts them in a little, thing that protects the tip so that you can get a perfectly sharpened pencil from this guy. And he makes a full-time income from sharpening pencils. Why do I bring this up? I'm going to give you a couple of neat examples because when you dive down in them, I love to be inspired. I love being inspired by people that come up with an idea, and then what they do is they go through that idea, but more than anything, it's their enthusiasm and thesos, God within. Their ability to tell you how excited they are. And they're really good at painting a big picture of the vision of what they can create with this idea that they have. And so when you look at some of the ideas out there, like, the metal stamped out can opener, right? One of the stories that I used to tell all the time, and you guys can Google this, is the pet rock. That someone took the time to draw on a rock and then call it a pet rock. And people all over the world bought a pet rock. He made millions. And it came in a box, and he had like little, stuff in there, and he would lay the rock in there, and you got your pet rock, right? And then what he did is he said, another thing is he said, listen, if you're tired of your rock, you could send your rock back to me. And what I do is I'll send you a death certificate, you know what I mean, on your pet rock. And I know that a lot of you probably in your mind are just going, oh my God, this is nonsense. This is nonsense. But again, perception is reality. Perception is reality. And you got to understand that other people have different perceptions than you. So you've heard this phrase before, one man's junk is another man's treasure. So let's make that politically correct. Another person's junk is another person's treasure. So here's something I want to just throw your mind out there. because I seen this video, and some of you perception, you don't like this guy. His name is Gary Vaynerchuk. And what he did was he said, you know, you look in this day and age, and he was showing this kid on his mobile phone how fast he could do it. So he says, I go to a garage sale, right? And I'm looking at the garage sale, and these people have salt and pepper shakers. And I can get all of their salt and pepper shakers, and I'm sitting there on my phone on the internet. And I go to eBay, and I put in, salt and pepper shakers. And all of a sudden, I see a whole page on eBay and other auction sites where people are paying $40, $50, $100, $400 for salt and pepper shakers. And right away, I remember the kid saying to him, who would pay $400, for salt and pepper shakers? Well, salt and pepper shaker collectors. Salt and pepper shaker collectors, or coffee mug collectors, or, spoons, these little spoons. My grandma used to, everyone that traveled all over the world would find these little spoons. Some people collect refrigerator magnets. You know what I mean? Cards, Pokemon cards. So when you think of stuff, this guy says you could go to a garage sale, look at what these people have, and you're buying them for 10 cents. Or he said he bought a bunch of mugs or salt and pepper shakers, and he bought all of them they had for like $2. And then he posted them online. He posted them online on eBay and sold them. So there's all these people in the world that are going like, I don't have any money, but they really don't know how easy it is to make money. Now, here's a phrase that I think that you guys will just get a kick out of, is all you need to do is find a need and fill it. And again, perception is, why is a stamp worth so much money? I see Peter says he collects rare Irish whiskey. See, the people, their perspective is that something's valuable. So the reason that they're willing to pay a lot of money for whiskey or wine or a painting, a stamp, Marilyn Monroe, Elvis Presley, Michael Jackson, their stuff, why a person would spend so much money on a Pokemon card, is because of perception. So your goal is not to educate the world, to tell them how stupid they are. See, that's your opinion. That's your perception. But there's people all over the world that find a need for the people that collect the most toasters. And I used to do these stories all the time in front of trainings to get people to think a little bit. Because, right now I love sports. I love sports, and I really like individual sports. Because, there's people that make millions of dollars from bowling, millions of dollars from playing darts, millions of dollars of playing pool, throwing a cornhole into a hole. I'm sure horseshoes are still great, but there's people that got potato launchers. And so the one that I used to share with people all the time is the World Cup Stacking Association. Yeah, look it up. Craig knew where I was going, right? And what I would show people is I tell them to go to YouTube and put in the world record holder for stacking plastic cups. And when you find this stuff, you find out they have an association. You got to be a member of the association, that it's international, it's all over the world, and that all these kids and people compete in stacking cups. Now, your perception must be, that's sort of silly. Well, they have official cups, they have official mats that, you stack them on. They have training videos. They have everything, right? You always got to have the official, the official, from the World Cup Stacking Association, right? It's got to be approved. You guys see this happens in everything, right? And so you got to realize that the kid that broke the record, thank you, Craig. The kid that broke the record ended up getting a commercial on McDonald's and then also edible eggs. And so it shows him, and Craig, you probably could find McDonald's commercial with kids stacking cups, right? But you got to understand that this kid did nothing but figure out what he needed to do. And this last part of this training is what's going to upset everybody. Yeah, I'm telling you, I'm going to upset you, and I'm not going to apologize for it. But to make everyone follow a certain way of doing it, you don't get to show up with your cups. You don't get to stack the cups your way. Do you understand what I'm saying? All these people have a thing that makes them valuable because they can do it better than somebody else. So the reason that people are not successful, the reason that the majority of the people on the planet are not successful, is step one is they prejudge. They prejudge. They look at something, they go, that's freaking stupid. That's ridiculous. That has no meaning. That has no value. Who would be so stupid to practice stacking plastic cups? Are you understanding what I'm saying? So that's why 95% of the people on the planet will never pursue anything, because they've already made an opinion and a judgment of doing that as a waste of time. That's stupid. That you shouldn't do that. And then there's a small group of people that go, what? What? You make money? You can make a full-time income traveling the world, stacking plastic cups? So if you made that, I came out with this saying, it is so easy to make money. It is so easy to make money. Because step one is you got to decide that you're going to do something that generates income. Then the next step is to find out what the rules are. Because when you stack the cups, there are different ways of stacking cups. But for you to get in, there's even doubles, just like tennis and all this stuff, right? So you got to know how to stack the cups in a sequence. So the way that you start is a certain way, the way that you do it is in a certain way, and the way that you break it down is in a certain way. And if you don't do it that way, it doesn't count. What if marketing was exactly the same way? See, so you got all these people, and it's always fun. The people that are not making the money, they're life coaches. All these people are saying, hey, I know how to get leads. Hey, I know how to get sales. Hey, I know what I'm doing. This is what you're supposed to do. I wish there was a network marketing record holder association. Because imagine if it was like being a lawyer, or imagine if it was like real estate, where you needed to know how to do it, then you had to pass a test, and if you didn't do it the way that everyone else does it, then you just can't participate. See, you can be rebellious, you can fight, you can say, I don't want to do that, I want to do it this way. And the answer is no. No, you can't. You can't use your cups, you can't stack them your way. If you want to, go start your own planet. See, that's what I love about Jim Rohn the most. He would say, listen, when you start your own planet, You can come up with your own rules. So people get in to what I do, and they don't do what I tell them to do. When I followed my mentors exactly the way they told me to do it. This is the way you hold it. This is the way you stack it. This is how you do it. This is how you practice. And I just each and every day got better. And I got better. And I got better. And I got better. And I started making my time frames more. So it's like, Robert, yeah, how many people can you get to see an effective presentation? What is an effective presentation? Robert, I use this video. Then I'm going to use this video. What is the sequence that you do it in? This is the way you do it in. I said that I'm going to do that. A, you got to say hi to people and get their attention. 2, you got to connect. 3, you got to ask them to do you a favor. I'm not asking people to help me out. That makes me sound weak. That I ain't doing that. I never asked anybody for anything. How many friends do you have? Really, I don't have any friends. Sound familiar? What? See, you probably don't have a lot of friends because everything's got to be done your way. And nobody can do it good enough. Who would want to hang around somebody that would do that to them? So it's easy to make money when you look at social media. You know, you look at these people and it's like, oh my God, this person's making so much money. You know, they're people in retirement homes that have already retired and they're doing TikTok videos. I'm not dancing and showing it online. Then shut up! There's people that make money on Facebook. There's people that make money on Snapchat, Instagram, Twitter, all these social medias. And you got to do one thing. Is say, you know what? I'm tired of living like this. I don't want to live like this anymore. And I'm going to find something that I can do to service the many. I have not found it yet. Maybe you have found it. I haven't found it. I've done a lot of studying of a lot of extremely successful people. I haven't figured out how to make a lot of money and happiness and fulfillment without the service of many people. When you look at the most successful people on the planet, the most successful companies on the planet, they found a need and filled it. They found a need and fill it. You got to service a bunch of people. There's a lot of people out there that would like to make money, but they don't want to interact or help people solve a problem. They don't want to do it. Well, then just stop complaining. So what I do is I, A, said I don't want to live this way anymore. 2, I found someone that made more money than me, that was happier than me, that had a lifestyle better than me. And at that time, I went, I want those things. So all I did is do what they did. I didn't do what everybody did. I did what one successful person did. And that person for me right now is Jenna Zweigel. I haven't even gotten a quarter of the way. I've made it a quarter of the way to $1 million a month. And I don't know a lot of people that are making $1 million a month in this industry. So if I were going to learn how to stack plastic cups, I want to learn from the person that currently holds the record. If I want to learn how to golf, if I want to learn how to bowl, if I want to learn how to do anything in life, why not find the most documented person you can and then learn from them? And there's 2 people that you want to find. One is there people that set records and have awards. And then there's other people that have helped other people receive records and awards. That's the person you want to find, because they not only learned from someone and applied it to get the results, but then they also figured out how to mentor and teach other people the simple things to do. Hope it clicked. So when you find that person, I say, you don't have to like them. You don't have to like them. You don't have to do anything. You don't have to like them. You don't have to do anything. All you got to do is follow what they do. That's all you got to do is follow what they do. And once you replace your income, once you get your income where you want it, once you start teaching other people how to do it, then make it more of your own. You know, I'll try this. I'll try this. I never experiment on people. I always try things. And honestly, unfortunately, a majority of the things don't work. But I'll at least become creative. I was talking to Matthew, my son, today. And at least you want to be creative to see if you can evolve it. Apple, Steve Jobs did not invent the cell phone. He didn't invent the MP3 player. He didn't invent the computer. He evolved it. He evolved it. That's all he did. He didn't invent a watch, right? So you want to just see if you can make it better, but don't try to make it better until you've done it a way that has put you in a position financially, freedom. So find something that you can do. I think I shared this on the QVC thing. You know, one of the things that I love is affiliate marketing, right? To think that there's companies out there like Apple and Microsoft and American Express and QVC. When I got done with the QVC video, Craig, you can post that in here. When I got done with the QVC video, I went, oh my God, I wonder if QVC has an affiliate program. And so I went over and I put QVC, Home Shopping Network, affiliate program. Yeah, they do have one. You can fill out a free form, become an affiliate of QVC, and do nothing but promote their products. And you make 5%. 5%. I didn't read through all the policies and procedures. If they're like Amazon, it probably takes a while for them to get there. So you can make money, listen closely, you can make money selling stuff. You can make money selling stuff. Here's the thing. You're not going to make a fortune. You're not going to have freedom. That's not my quote. That's Jim Rowan's quote. So he said, first I learned how to milk cows. I found out that didn't pay a lot of money. Then I figured out how to be a salesperson. And I made money, listen closely, I made money. In fact, I made good money. But you have good days, bad days, good weeks, bad weeks, good months, bad months, good years, bad years, right? You can have bad years together. I used to market long distance. One day it was free. I needed to find something else to market. So you can make money selling things. You can make a fortune introducing people to some way that they can make extra money for them and their family, to get them an extra paycheck. Listen to that. So I milk cows, I can be a good mechanic, I can work on cars. Then I learned how to sell, and then I learned how to recruit. Then I spend all my time finding other people that need to make extra money, and then simply share with them a mindset and a proven path, a step-by-step, simple way, like plastic cups or drawing a cat for you. I show them a simple system that if they follow it and master the mundane and each and every day get just a little better, Kaizen, never-ending improvement. Just get better at drawing stick cats. Get faster at drawing stick cats. Get better at throwing a bag of corn into a hole. just throw this round ball down this oily alley and see if you can't knock down 10 pins. And the people that don't get, listen closely, they don't get sidetracked by trying to find a shortcut. The people that go, you know what? I would love to walk away from my job. I'd love to retire my significant other. I would love some really great things in my life. I need to find another skill that allows me to get leverage off 21,000 people. See, if you guys are listening, the stuff that I'm doing today is working so well that you probably think that I'm exaggerating. It's like, well, I just saw on a video and Robert was talking about he had 15,000, and then I'm on another video and he's talking about 16, and then he's on another video talking about 17, then 18, then 19, then 20, then 21,000. Just keep watching my videos. My goal is to get to 1 million active people out of 7 billion people that would like to have fulfillment, happiness, and learning to master a mundane thing that they do each and every day, just introducing people to wisdom they've never heard of. Just something small to shift their paradigm. Like when I heard from my first mentor, you know, Robert, why do you get a job? Well, I have to get a job to make money. No, you don't. What? Robert, if you want to make a lot of money, learn from people that make a lot of money. You don't need a job to make money. What? That is not true. Hey, let me introduce you to a bunch of people that haven't had a job forever. I haven't had a job for 35 years. I'm unemployable. I never thought of that. How do you do that? I know one thing that I do every day is I do a lot of stuff different than you. I do a lot of stuff different from you. I used to be excited about getting one person in a week. And then all of a sudden it was hundreds. And Craig is on here, Jackman and Melody Ryba, and probably the Reacher, you know, Scott Kloster. There's all these people that have been following me forever. And, you know, I've gotten to a place where I can bring in 15,000 people a month. 15,000 people a month. Watch me make it happen. And everybody's going to go, I'm not doing it. I don't care if you don't want to do it. Do it your way. Be stubborn. Be rebellious. Prove to me that I'm wrong. Just go out and kick my butt. That's what I want you to do. So, with that all said, I love and appreciate you. I believe in you. I know that you can find something simple, and you just got to be better than everybody else. Does it take effort? It takes effort. Is it easy? Yes, it's easy. It's easy to do, and it's easy not to do. Jim Rohn quote. Robert, you'd rather work for profit than work for wages. What? You got the majority of the world that goes, I'd never work for performance-based. I would never work for commissions only. Why? Because I might not get a check. Yeah, but you might make $280,000 a month. See, why do you always look at the negative side instead of the positive side? The only way that you can make 6 figures a month, 6 figures a year, is by having a lot of help, showing them something simple that they can do that can alter and change their life forever. So I know you can do it if you want to do it, but a lot of you don't want to. See what I mean? And that's okay too. That's totally okay. I'm not here to change the world. I'm here to change a group of people that really truly believe that they were put on this planet to be the best that they could be, to consistently challenge themselves and make a giant impact on other people. I don't want to be the person that leaves this planet and no one knows I exist. It's just not me. So if it's not you, then you can learn to do something. Did you notice I gave you a bunch of examples in this video? I did not tell you that you had to do what I'm doing, because there's all kinds of people you can learn from. But coming from a broke environment is temporary. Ignorance means you don't know that you don't know. But once you know and you decide not to, then that's stupid. That's just stupid. Because you can learn to find people like me. Sean Hennigan found me and introduced me to something that's helped me change millions of people's lives. There's people out there like me, man. They are. And you got to find them. They're looking for this. They're praying for this every day. But if you don't introduce people to it, that know people that know people that know people, then it's never going to happen. So we'll see you on the next video. I love and appreciate you. Please do me a huge personal favor and share this with others. And we'll talk to you real soon. D'Angelo, how are you, man? Hi, Sarah. Hi, Linda. Hi, Joe. Thank you, Craig, so much for posting. Hi, Jacqueline. AK, there you go. Who moved my cheese? I think that's what he said. Anyway, love you guys. Talk to you soon. Bye for now.